Hi, my name is Dana, and today we're going to be working on the legs in preparation for standing balancing poses. And this class will be great if you are just beginning your yoga practice, great for beginners and intermediate alike. So if you'll please come onto your backs, we're going to begin on the back body with the knees bent and the feet planted. And as you come onto your back, you can take your feet for now mat's width wide. Let the pinky edges start to come to the edges of your sticky mat, so bending the knees, keeping the feet mat's width wide. Perfect. And then let your knees fall together so the inner knees touch. And then allow one hand to come onto your belly and one hand to come onto your heart. Great. Take a moment and just start to lengthen the back of your neck. And as your neck lengthens, let the chin nod towards the heart a little bit. And then let the eyes close if they haven't yet, and take 3 rounds of breathing, just starting to settle into your body. And see if you can start to feel the length of your breath, and also which part of the body, which part of the torso the breath fills into first, which hand lifts and fills as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just noticing which hand softens, deepens, descends a little bit. What part of the torso relaxes a little more. And taking just one more breath, inhaling. And on our next breath, we'll take the sound of Om, inhaling deep. And then allowing your breath to be just as long as that sound was, inhaling and exhaling a little further now. And keeping the breath going as you let the hands release from the torso, let the eyes slide open. And then from there, I'd like you to bring your right knee in towards your chest, interlace your hands right around the front of your right shin, make a little interlace. And then begin to extend your left leg long. Slide the back of your heel against the sticky surface until the whole left leg is straight. And then act as though you're standing on this left leg. So begin to press through that left heel and pull the toenails back towards your head, really starting to lengthen the back of your calf all the way through the Achilles, all the way through the heel. And see, can you do that and take one more breath, drawing the right knee a little closer towards your rib cage. And keeping the left leg now just as it is, bring your left hand on top of your left thigh and just activate it. Let it press down and make more contact, your left leg to the mat. And keep that, and like you're opening up a doorway, use your right hand to open your right knee out to the right, and then pause and take a few deep breaths. See as you breathe if you can keep standing through that left leg, pressing through the heel, and making the inner left thigh even heavier towards the ground. And then from there, take a deep breath, bring the knee back up through center. Switch hands, but keep the knee bent. Let the left hand come to that right knee, that right leg. And then go ahead and take the knee over to the left, going into a twist. Let your right arm swing out towards the side, make a half T. And then take a couple rounds of breath. See if you can breathe into the back of your right shoulder. Make it super heavy towards the mat. And then most likely you'll feel that you kind of lost a tension in that straight leg. So can you flex that foot a little bit more and make it again long and straight? One more breath. Nice. And then go ahead and come back up through center. Let the right leg extend all the way out to meet the left. Take 1 round of breathing, deep inhale. Breathe all the way out and just feel the difference between your legs. And then rebend both of your knees. And as you bend the knees, take the left knee in towards the chest, interlace your hands around the shin, and then begin to slide the right leg along the mat until the foot extends all the way out straight. Beautiful. Then start to press through that right heel, press through that right Achilles, press through that right calf, and see can more of your right inner thigh get in contact with the mat. And then imagine that you are standing on this right leg. Take your right palm and weight down your own right thigh, and keep that leg super heavy and straight as you open the left knee out to the left. Just a couple rounds of breathing here. Good. Take another round of breath and pull the toes a little further back towards your head side, but anchor the inner thigh towards the mat. Good, and then go ahead and bring that knee back up through center. Keep that knee close to the chest. And then take your right hand and guide that leg over into a twist, letting the knee fall to the floor outside your sticky surface. Take the left arm way out to the side now, out into a half T, and take a couple rounds of breath. Can you breathe more into the back of your left lung as you do this? And then once again, returning back through center. And as you come back through center, let the left leg extend all the way out to meet the right. As your legs extend, now act as though you're standing on both feet. Pull the toenails back towards your head, press through your heels a lot. And then keep this as you hook your thumbs forward, and then begin to reach your arms up and overhead, starting to reach all the way up so the backs of your palms reach the back of the room. Pause there, take a deep breath, fill up to your body's capacity, and then open your mouth and breathe out. And then stay without breath at the bottom of that exhale and stretch a little longer. Can your heels go further forward? Can your fingers scrub further back? And then breathe into that space you just made. Inhale deep. And as you exhale, I'd like you to bend your right knee, interlace your hands around the shin, and bring that leg close to the chest. We're gonna start moving with our breathing now. Good, reach the arms back overhead, extend that right leg back straight, all the way to the floor, just like it was a second ago. And then go ahead, rebend the left knee, draw it in towards the chest, interlace your hands around the shin. Beautiful. And then again, just like that, reach the arms back, extend the leg straight. Bring the right knee towards the chest, interlace your hands around that right shin. And then again, extend that right leg way out in front of you, reach the arms back and up. Bring the left knee in towards the chest, interlace your hands around your shin. Good, last time, reach the arms back and up, big breath. And then bend both of your knees, bring the thighs close to the chest. Beautiful. Start to rock a little side to side, massage out your sacrum just a little bit. And then tuck your chin towards your chest and start to rock and roll forward and back, forward and back. Build a little bit of momentum until you rock up to sit. And then once you've rocked upright, I'd like you to place your hands to the front of your mat and step your legs back so that you're in an all fours shape, coming into a tabletop. Now, before you proceed, I'd like you to each take a block, and we're gonna use this to train our legs. So place the block on its skinny width and place it all the way up the inner thighs. So hike it up as high up the inner legs as it can get. And then go ahead and just plant the hands back down, and for a sec, squeeze the block with your hips. Let the outer thighs hug the prop beneath the legs. Good, and then keep this as you come into cat-cow. Lift the chest, lift the tail, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, round your spine and try to bring your block towards your nose tip. Beautiful, do that 3 more times. Heart up, tail back. And then exhale and round, round, round. Bring your nose towards the block. Good, again, inhale, lifting the chest. And then again, exhale, rounding, curling towards the block. Good, now tuck your toes under, lift your chest. Keep your knees on the ground, but press your butt back towards your heels so that you get a little foot stretch. Really press with those toes curled down, and take 1 round of breathing just to open up the soles of your feet. Soften the shoulders and take 1 more breath. And then go ahead, bring the shoulders forward again, back into that tabletop shape. Keep squeezing the block, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Now spread out the fingers a little bit, so like you're trying to palm the whole front of your sticky surface. And then begin to climb up the spine and climb up the legs. Come up onto the tiptoes of your feet. Get really, really tall through both ends of your body. And see if you can press from the knuckles all the way down to the fingertips. And then go up and back and up and back and up and back, all the way into the apex of your hips. Good, now keep that height and then start to slide the heels back as they go down towards the mat, like you're opening up the soles of your feet. And take one round of breath, using the legs, using the arms to make tremendous space. Good, now keep that feeling and start to walk your hands back towards your feet. So you're going towards the back of your mat. And as you arrive in this forward bend, I'd like you to bend your knees super deep, rest your chest on your thighs, and think about that cow pose shape. As the knees bend, start to curl the chest up and off the thighs. And then keep that feeling of lift, and lift and fan your toes as well. So get the feet to do the same thing as your chest. And keep all of this as you start to straighten the legs, fold in and down, squeezing the block as you fold as best you can. And then 2 more times. Bend the knees, lift the chest. And again, exhale, straighten the legs, but keep the toes lifting up. Last time like this. Bend, breathe, lift the chest. And then last time, straighten the legs, fold in and down. Now, can you keep the toes lifted and start to walk your hands forward back into your downward facing dog? And as the toes stay lifted now, can your heels stay back and down? And then from there, my friends, keep squeezing the block and come forward into plank. Bring your shoulders right over your wrists. And then notice if you need to adjust the pose. Maybe you need to walk the hands a little further forward or scoot the feet a little further back so your shoulders are right over your wrists. Now take one more breath, and as you squeeze the block, can you press the heels energetically back and look forward? And then feel that as you press back, downward facing dog, heels anchoring towards the mat. 2 more times now. Come on forward, deep breath, plank. And then stay, squeeze the block, press the heels back, press the head forward. And can you begin to roll the crease of your elbows slightly more towards the front of the mat? Good, and then exhale and come back, downward facing dog. Last time like this. Come on forward, plank pose, big breath. And as you come into your plank, heels back, gaze forward, shoulders broadening, open chest. Can you lift the base of your thighs up just a little bit and then tuck your buttocks down towards the mat? Yes, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. All right, last time as you come forward, plank pose, take a big breath. As you exhale this time, drop your knees and just pause for a second. Begin to shift your chest forward so the chest moves past the fingertips. And then begin to bend your elbows close to the ribs and go halfway towards the ground, chaturanga with the knees down. Now untuck the toes, let your pelvis drop, but keep the shoulders lifting up. And then hug the block just gently between the thighs so the pelvis is down as the chest lifts. And then exhale and come on back now, downward facing dog. Really nice. Spread the fingers out again just a little bit. Take one more breath into long arms, long legs, really active inner thighs. And then last time, begin to walk your hands back towards your feet until you're again in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Now this time, I'd like you to bend your knees, chest to thighs, take a really deep seat. And then begin to peel your chest up and off the legs. Reach the arms up, chair pose, and see as the chest lifts, can you find a cat pose in your lower spine, lengthening your buttocks down? And can you find a cow pose in your chest, lifting your armpits, lifting your fingertips? Take one more round of breathing, squeeze those outer thighs, and then rise on up all the way to stand, straight legs. Bring your hands to your heart and breathe out. And take the block now away, thank goodness, out from the thighs. Place it off to the side of your mat, and then begin to walk your feet forward towards the front of your sticky surface. As you come to the front of your mat, have your feet hips width apart, and remember the feeling of the block that you just had quite a long time. See if you can still feel the outer legs come in, hugging towards the center line. But then activate the feet a little bit. Press the bottoms of your feet down and apart, like you're trying to spread the mat a little wide. And keep that activity in your legs as you reach your arms out and up, all the way up towards the sky. Good, and then exhale, open the arms and fold with straight legs or a little bend if you need to dive. Now bend the knees quite deeply, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, straighten the legs and fold a little deeper down. Press down into your feet, reach your arms out and up, reverse that dive. And then as you exhale, stay standing, bring your hands to your heart. Again, like that, reach the arms out and up, take a huge breath, and then open the arms and start to dive all the way back down again. Bending the knees, chest to thighs, look forward. Now this time, bring your fingertips in line with toes, step your left leg way back to a lunge. Keep your shoulders right over your wrists and bring your right foot beside the left, plank pose, looking forward the whole time. And then again, bend the knees and pause just for a sec. Scoot the chest forward, take a deep breath. Begin to bend the elbows close to the ribs and lower slow, halfway towards the mat. And then let the pelvis drop, untuck the toes, curl the sternum up towards the sky. And as you exhale now, go up and back, downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of your deepest breath. Now remember the echo of the block. Can you keep activating the inner thighs? Can you keep moving the heels back as well as down? Yes. All right, keep the arms strong and straight. Reach your right leg up. Take a big breath. Bring your right knee to your nose and your shoulders over your wrists like you were doing plank. And then one more time, lift the leg way back and up. And then this time, knee towards nose to step beside your right thumb tip. And take the back foot forward, all the way, big step, and then fold right over your legs, a little closer down. Press into your feet, reach out and up, rise, arms overhead. Stay standing and just take the hands to the heart. Again, like this, take the arms out and up, huge breath. Dive and fold right over your legs. Bend the knees quite deeply, chest to thighs, look forward, and then step your right leg way, way back to a lunge. And coming right into plank, left foot meets right, look forward, and then one more time, drop the knees and pause. Scoot the chest forward, breathe in, bend the elbows close to the ribs. Beautiful, and then let the pelvis drop, but the chest lift. Untuck those toes, curl the sternum up, and then exhale and go back, downward facing dog. Can you imagine the block still there and press it back so the inner thighs roll towards the back of the room? And the legs are so active, it's almost like you could stand on them. So you're taking some of the weight out of your wrists. And then take your left leg to the sky. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, knee to nose, shoulders right over wrists. And then again, leg up, huge breath. Same action now, but stepping beside your left thumb tip. Let your back foot step all the way forward. Take a deep breath and then fold deeper down, right over the legs. Good, pressing down, reach up, rise, arms all the way overhead. And then stay standing, bring your hands to your heart. Okay, last time like this, take the arms all the way up, huge breath. Exhale, dive and fold all the way down. Bend the knees quite deeply now. Prepare, deep breath. Step your left leg way, way back to a lunge. Now this time right into plank, right foot meets left. Keep the knees lifted, press with your toes forward, shoulders just past your wrists, and then bend your elbows halfway towards the floor and lower all the way to the ground. Nice. Untuck the toes, press the toenails down, lift the chest, and see as you lift up a little higher now, can you press the palms down and tug the mat back towards your hips? And then exhale, curl over the toes, go up and back. Downward facing dog pose. See if you can really irrigate the body with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, deep, nourishing, three-dimensional breaths. One more, in and exhale. All right, we're gonna practice jumping. Bring the big toes together. Come up onto your tiptoes, lift your hips, and then keep that lift as you bend your knees a little and look forward. And then squeeze the thighs like you had that block and hop right between your hands. Let it just be, yes, good practice. Excellent. Straighten the legs, huge breath. And then exhale, dive and fold a little further down. Good. Press into your feet, reach the arms out and up. Big inhale to rise. And then bring your hands to your heart. All right, we're gonna take just 1 second to find a little more activity in the legs, and then we're gonna use these legs for our balancing shapes. So I'm gonna have you take a block, and we're going to begin just by standing on it with our right foot. So you're gonna come to stand and balance just on your right side. And as you come to stand on the block, you're gonna hold on to your hips just to kind of feel the tip of your pelvic bones. And feel with your left foot, the left foot can hang just below the right. So you're giving that left leg permission to just hang and slouch towards the mat. Now as you do that, feel that your right hip is kind of kicked out to the right side. Now I want you to reverse this. Press down into your right heel so much that the right buttock hugs in and the left foot lifts in line with the right. Good, and then do that again. Let the hip kick out, let the foot sag. And then again, squeeze that right foot in and lift the foot up. Again, like that. Let the hip swing out, let the foot sag. And then one more time, hug that right hip in and lift the foot up. You should feel this in your outer right hip, yes? And then go ahead and release. We're gonna do the second side. Okay, so as you come to stand, again, left foot now on this block. Let the right foot just kind of hang down towards the side and feel how your left hip kind of kicks out. This is how many of us stand most of the time. And instead, now start to press into that left heel so much you suck the left hip in and the right foot lifts. And then let it go, drop, let the hip sag out. And then again, press down and lift. Good, one more time, let the hip swing out, let it relax. And then do the opposite. Hug that left buttock in and lift the foot up. Great, okay. Come and release. Place the blocks back and off to the side. And then I'd like you to bring your big toes together towards the front of your mat. Good, now remember this. Bend the knees, reach your arms up, come right into chair pose. And then as you exhale, I want you to come to stand, bring your right knee to your chest, interlace your hands around the shin, just like we did on our back. Yes, and then release, come back to chair pose, bend the knees, arms lift, switch sides, left knee to chest, interlace your hands around the shin. Good, and then chair pose again, left knee down, arms lift. And as you come to stand, right knee to chest, really punch that left heel down, hug the hip. Yes, one more time. Right foot steps down, bend the knees. And last time, come to stand, really pressing that heel down. Beautiful. Chair pose once again. Bend the knees, arms lift. Press through your left heel, rise up, right knee to chest. And then just like we did on our back, stay standing down in that left heel and begin to open your right knee out to the right, opening up the doorway of your hip. Now you can choose, place the foot either on your inner standing thigh or your inner calf or even your inner foot. And then bring your hands together in front of your chest. Now, can you keep hugging that outer left hip in? Yes, as you press into the heel. And can you keep that right hip square to the front? One more breath. Good. Now bring the right knee back through center. Inhale. Let the foot just step down beside the left. And then as the foot steps, bend the knees, arms up, chair pose. Switch sides, left knee to chest, rise up to standing, interlace your hands around that shin, and then punch down through that right heel. Yes, and start to open the left knee out towards the side. Begin to place the foot somewhere along that standing leg, inner thigh, inner calf, inner foot. And then bring your hands to your chest and let what your hands are doing be an invitation for your leg and your foot to do the same. Hand to hand and then foot to leg press. Really absorb that outer right hip in, press through that standing leg. Good, and then go ahead, bring the knee back through center and let the foot step down to meet the right. Nice. Bend your knees one more time, chair pose, and then dive right over your legs, folding towards the mat. Lengthen your spine, take a deep breath. We're gonna step the right leg back this time, all the way to lunge. And then right into plank, take a deep breath. Again, legs straight, arms straight, look forward, press forward. Begin to bend the elbows and go as slow as you can, one straight line. Untuck the toes as you land, curl up the chest, take a big inhale, cobra pose, hands pressing down, hugging the mat back. And then exhale, tuck your toes, go up and back, downward facing dog pose. So with all of this energy in your legs, take the right leg up, take a big breath, bring your knee towards your nose, step beside your right thumb tip. And as you come into this lunge now, take a sec, come onto your fingertips, so tense your hands a little more, and bring some energy into that back leg. Lift the back knee, lift the back hip. Keep all of this now as you reach your arms out and up and lift your chest up, coming into crescent lunge. Good, now as you rise, I'd like you to bend the back knee just a little bit, soften it a touch, and see, can you lengthen the lower back, scoop the top of the buttocks under, lift the frontal hips up, and then keep that and press your back heel back again, making the leg any more straight as best you can make it. Take one more big breath. And then go ahead, release, hands to the mat, step all the way back, downward facing dog pose. And we're switching sides, left leg lifts, take a big breath. Exhale, knee to nose, step beside your left thumb tip. Come up onto the fingertips, make the chest a little light, and then find that back leg again, really press through that back foot. Lift the back kneecap, lift the back hip. And keep all of that lightness as you reach your arms out and up, rise, crescent lunge. Good, now bend the back knee just a little bit to allow some freedom in the low back, really nice. Curl the top buttocks under, lift the front hips, and then see, can you keep that and straighten the back leg any amount more? And take one more breath, and as you reach up through your pinky fingers, can you soften the shoulder blades and the neck? And then go ahead, plant your hands, go all the way back, downward facing dog pose. All right, adding on to this, take your right leg up, take a deep breath. As you exhale, knee towards nose, step beside your right thumb tip. Get springy in the fingers, find your legs again, and then begin to lift the arms up, crescent lunge, big breath. Now this time I want you to hug the feet together as though you were trying to cinch together your mat. And we're gonna go into an open twist. Reach your left arm to the front of the room and your right arm towards the back. And then start to open your arms wide into a T shape. Now as you keep hugging the feet towards each other, feel how that helps to balance the hips. And then can you turn more of your left abdomen towards your right thumb tip? Good. Begin to reach the right hand down, forward and up. Reach back up through center. And then plant your hands and go back, downward facing dog. Really nice. Second side, left leg lifts, big breath. Knee towards nose as you step beside left thumb tip. Come up onto the fingertips, find the back leg a little more, and then reach the arms straight up. Now, can you hug the feet together, really feel the thighs engage, and start to find an open twist. Right arm forward, left arm reaching towards the back of the space. Keep squeezing the feet so much together, it's like you're trying to shorten the distance between your sticky mat. And see, can you turn your right abdomen towards your left thumb tip? And then as you release, reach the left hand down, forward and up, reach up through center. Place the hands all the way down, step back, downward facing dog. And then one more time, adding on to this, take your right leg high, a huge breath. As you exhale, knee towards nose, step aside, right thumb tip. Begin to rise right up, crescent lunge, huge breath. And then as you exhale, left arm forward, right arm towards the back of the mat. Begin to reach the right hand down, forward, up, reach back through center. Now you're gonna turn your back heel to the mat, and we're gonna use that to open up, warrior two. As the back foot grounds, turn the torso to the left. Beautiful. Now take with your own eyes a look at your own front kneecap and see, can you let the inner knee open towards the pinky toe side? And as you get into that shape, deepen into that front knee bend just a little bit. Take one more breath. And then go ahead, hands to the mat, spiral your back heel up, and step back, downward facing dog pose. Last side, left leg lifts, big breath. And then knee towards nose as you step beside left thumb tip. Begin to rise right up, crescent lunge, big breath. Open twist, right arm forward, left arm towards the back of the space. And then begin to lower, left hand down, forward, reach it up, reaching up through center. And as you exhale, turn your back heel to the mat, ground that back foot, and use that to open up, warrior two pose. Now as you press down into the back edge of your back foot, can you begin to really align the inner knee towards the pinky toe side of that front foot? And take one more deep breath. Good, and then cartwheel the hands down, spiral the back heel up, and as you exhale, come on back, downward facing dog pose. And take 3 grounding breaths. Can you feel the fullness of your legs, the energy from the thighs to the soles of your feet, filling them with breath? And then from the heels, grounding back, walk your hands towards your toe tips, walking all the way back towards the back of the mat. Now we've been here before. Remember the block. Bend the knees deep, reach the arms up, come right into your chair pose. And then just like we did, rise to stand, right knee to chest, come all the way up. For a full breath, open the right knee out towards the right, open the hinge of your hip. And then go ahead and close it again, just bringing the knee back through center. Keep pressing down through your left heel. Take your left hand to that bent knee. Reach the right arm straight up. Take a big breath. And then we're gonna go into the twist. So stay balanced in that left leg as best you can. Reach that right arm back through space. And then 3 breaths. Can you punch down through that whole left heel? Lift up through the head. And can you turn your chest from left to right thumb tip? Nice. And then reach the arm down, forward, up, reach back up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let that right foot step down, hips width. Bring your hands to your heart. And then just take a sec. You might wiggle out the legs a little bit. Feel the outer legs kind of like jello. And then we'll switch. Go ahead, bend the knees, arms lift, chair pose. And then rise, left knee to chest, punching down through that right heel. Stay standing and start to open that left knee just out to the left, opening the doorway of your hip. And then begin to close the doorway again, standing, balancing the whole time. Now switch. Take your right hand to your shin. Lift your left arm. Make space. Big breath. And then start to open the arm back stroking towards the back of the room. A couple of breaths. Can you press down through the outer right hip, hugging it in? And can you turn your belly from right to left? Nice. One more. Beautiful, guys. And then reach that hand down, forward, up. Reach back up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let the hands come to the heart. Let the left foot step. Good. Keeping the feet hips width. Reach the arms out and up. Take a big breath. And then exhale and dive right over the legs. From there, bring your peace fingers around your big toes. Bend your knees deeply enough, and again, lengthen the chest onto the thighs, and begin to find what feels almost like a cow pose. Curl your chest up, pull your toes up, and make length through your spine. And then keep that length as you start to press the toes down into the fingers, straighten the legs any amount, and let your head go down towards your shin bones. And take a few rounds of breath and see, can you lean slightly towards those big toes? Can you bend the elbows apart and broaden the back of your neck so the base of your brain is super free and soft? Good, and then from there, go ahead, half lift, release the big toes, look forward, and then just start to walk the hands forward, forward, forward until you're back in your downward facing dog. As you come into your downward facing dog, come on forward, shoulders over wrists, plank pose, big breath. Press forward, look forward, and then lower super slow, one straight line to the mat. Now this time, let your forehead just rest on the sticky surface. Make sure the toes are uncurled and press the tops of your feet into the mat. And then interlace your hands behind your back body, reaching behind, clasping that interlace. Good, now start with the elbows bent. Bend them a little bit and bring the knuckles of your fist right onto the base of your buttocks, right at the base of your spine, the very top of the butt. And then begin with your knuckles to press that space down and back. So you're lengthening your own butt back towards your feet. And keep that feeling as you start to lift your chest, peeling the sternum up towards the sky. Begin to straighten the elbows, reach your knuckles back, and start to broaden the collarbones a lot. And then even here, can you press down through the feet, the pinky toes, all the way to the big toe side. Take one more round of breath. And then exhale and release. Let the head go down, turn onto one cheek. Let the hands release that interlace. And then just give your hips a little swag side to side, letting the tail wag out. All right, and then again like this. Go ahead and bring your forehead to the floor. As your forehead centers, reach back, bend the elbows a little bit, and bring your hands into that interlace. And then feel the way that you've just clasped your hands, and switch the grip. So bring the other thumb and index on top, just doing the opposite, non-habitual way. Good, now again with the elbows bent, really root the knuckles down into the base of the butt. So give your own buttocks a little nudge back and down. That's it. And then keep that feeling as you start to lift your chest. Curl your collarbones forward and up. Good. Now can you really press down, lengthen your toes back, lengthen your knuckles back, and eject your heart forward. And take one more huge breath. Yes, and then exhale and relax, lower back down. As you turn your head the other side, let the hands release. Give your hips a little sway, 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 side to side. And then from that position, one more time. Forehead to the floor, hands reach back, interlace. Bend the elbows, press down into the lower buttock, lengthen that space back, and then curl the chest up. Curl the sternum, curl the head, curl the gaze. Now, if all feels well, if you can keep lengthening back through your legs, start to lift the feet just a few inches off the mat. And then think about your body like a canoe shape, from your toes reaching away and your head reaching forward. Make tons of length and space. One more huge breath. And then exhale and release. Turn the head one last time either way. Let the hands go. Yes. And let the lower back just shake out. So from here, we're going to roll simply onto our backs. So you can flip over literally like a pancake. And as you flip over, you're going to take one more time that same block between the legs, bending the knees this time, and placing the block in that skinny height right between the upper inner thighs. Good. Now, even though we're on our back, we're still going to stay present in the legs. So begin to walk the feet just a little closer to the butt. But then give your feet some space away from each other. Let them widen away to the left and to the right. Now, begin to squeeze the outer hips. Hug that block between the legs. And keep this as you begin to lift the buttocks up. Lift the belly, lift the chest, lift the rib cage. Now hold on to the sides of your sticky mat. Grab the fabric and act as though you're trying to rip it in half. And use that to wiggle your upper arms under the chest. Use that pulling of the mat to get the upper arms to really come underneath the chest. Good. Now keep this. Lift from the buttocks. Lift from the under legs. Press down through the heels. Lift the toes and press the big toe mounds further into the mat. Yes. Take one more breath. And then exhale, release, coming all the way back down. Feel as you land, the shoulder blades spread apart. Make a little more space for a deeper breath. And then one more time, just like this. Again, get the feet a little closer to the buttocks. Have them your outer hips width, so a good deal of space between them, but close to the pelvis. Keep holding onto the sides of the mat this time, right as you lift. Lift the buttocks, lift the thighs, the belly, the chest, and then right away, rip that mat down the middle. So really pull the arms apart and do that to roll one arm and then the other underneath the chest. Get the upper arms to tuck well underneath your body. And then this time, stay lifted. Release the mat if you like and interlace your hands instead, just like you did on your back. Beautiful, guys. Now, can you squeeze that block and lift from your under legs? Lift the center of the butt. Yes. And then go ahead on your next exhale and release. Slowly back to the mat. Hands let go, shoulders spread out. All right. One last time. Things are better in threes. Place the feet down. Again, have them towards the hips, a little bit closer together. And then go ahead, press now the whole hand into the mat on each side of your hips and begin to press the floor away. Lift up, lift the pelvis. Now, without gripping the mat, can you still wiggle the upper arms underneath the chest? Get them to tuck underneath the body and then interlace the hands if you can find that grip. Now this time, one more time, find your feet. Come up onto your tiptoes, lift your thighs, lift your pelvis. Now, can you keep that lift and let the heels come towards the mat, but don't lose any of that height. Just suction the heels towards the ground. Yes, one more breath. And then exhale and slowly come on down. Let the hands release. And take the block away just for a sec. Let it slide out from underneath the legs. And then let the feet go wide again. The knees fall in. And a bit as we started, just letting the body land for a sec. Let the lower back spread, a couple rounds of breathing. Now we're just going to begin to flush out the legs. They've done a tremendous amount of work for us today. So beginning to walk the feet a little closer together. You're going to take that same block that was between the thighs and you're going to lift your pelvis up and place it on any height. You could place it low and wide underneath your pelvis. You could place it on its medium height, or if you'd like to, you could place it on its tallest setting, and it could be wide. And then once you're there, take a couple breaths. See if you can just feel the lower back really land on the steadiness of that platform. And then activate the arms again just a little more. Turn the palms back down so the palms are flat. And then keep that as you draw one knee and then the other in towards the chest, letting the feet fly up and off the sticky surface. Good, and then pressing the hands down really vigorously, begin to lift the legs straight up and see if you can just balance your legs like that and let gravity now take effect. So all of the fluid in your legs just starts to drain down without effort. Just letting the whole muscular activity kind of drain out. And take about 5 huge breaths. Can you feel as you breathe the way that the breath fills now from the belly to the mid-ribs to the upper chest, effortlessly, just like a cascade of breathing in and out. And can you start to feel a little tingling in the toes, in the feet, in the fronts and the backs of the legs? Take one more deep, deep breath. Good. And then one knee at a time, start to bend the legs into the chest. As the knees come in, plant the feet. And as the feet come down to the mat, go ahead and lift the hips. And as the hips lift, slide the block out. Good. Now as you come down to the mat, just for a sec, let the soles of your feet come together and the knees open apart. And then let that just spread your lower spine. A couple rounds of breath, just starting to slow down now, opening up after all of that hugging in, all of that muscular work. Can you allow the breath to again just cascade from the base of the belly to the mid-chest, and filling all the way up and then emptying out again. And take one more round of deep breathing. And then use your hands, gather your knees to touch so the legs stay relaxed. As the knees come in, begin to squeeze the thighs again close to the chest. And from there, you're just going to roll over towards your left. Begin to roll over towards the side of your mat, and then roll all the way up to sit, facing forward once again. Then the shape you just did reclined, you're going to do seated, just as our finishing forward fold. Bring the soles of your feet together, open the knees up, and for today, give yourself some space. Let the heels slide away from the inner groins. press together the feet. And then just hold on to the fronts of your ankles, lift up your chest. And as you exhale, start to lengthen your heart past your toe tips. And then begin to fold in and down towards the feet. Let the head relax, and if there's a great deal of space between your head and your feet, you could always take that same block and just prop the head up. And then take a few deep, super, super slow rounds of breath. As you breathe, can you breathe into the back body now, into the base of the spine, the mid ribs, the back of the heart space, that same cascading quality of breath from the bottom to the top of the whole torso. And as you keep breathing, can you keep letting go of the back of the neck, of the face, of the jaw, the tongue, even the teeth? Take just another full deep breath. And then again, just slowly starting to roll up to sit. As you roll up to a seated shape, take the block away if you've placed it on the feet. Use your hands again to gather together the knees. And then hold on to the backs of the legs and just roll onto your spine, coming all the way down onto the back towards rest. And as you come in one more time, let's take the knees in, wrap your arms around your shins, and actually start to condense. So make yourself into a really tight little ball shape. Begin to tighten so much that you lift your shoulder blades. Try to get your eyes to touch your knees, and then squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything in. Take another breath, hug muscularly towards the center, one more tight squeeze, and then open the mouth, exhale and release, and let the legs spread out, the arms spread out. Let everything start to find its place on the mat. And as the body starts to spread out, see if the skin can make that same sound, a sigh through every pore of the body. Just breath by breath, allowing yourself to get heavy, present, and steady. I'm just practicing for this short time the experience of non-doing. Just letting yourself be. to feel again where you are in this moment, in this space, in your body. And starting to feel the natural pace of your breath. And then again, placing a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. And as you place the hands this last time today, just letting yourself bring a feeling of friendliness, of tenderness, of gratitude to that touch. And just in the quiet, in this moment, in your own way, thanking yourself, thanking your body. And then gradually beginning to bend the knees, drawing them in towards the chest. And beginning to roll over to your right and just pausing for a second, moving slowly. And then from there, pressing the floor away, rolling up to take a seat. You can sit cross-legged, or if you prefer, on your shins. And as you come to sit, bringing the hands to your heart, bowing your head towards the teacher of your body. Namaste.